Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Oh, let me get the chat up. I don't know where the chat is. Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello, everybody. Super excited to see all your bright and shiny faces on our April Zoom. Thank you so much for not allowing me to speak to myself tonight. Much appreciated that you guys are here and spending the next hour or so with us. I'm hoping that maybe I can share some tips with you guys, and if I can refigure out how to screen share again, I'm going to show you some stuff on Canva. I have redone my host exclusives um, for this catalog season, and we're going to talk about parties, and we're going to talk about some of the things to hope to reignite some of our party sparks. I know that's personally what I'm focusing on in 2026 so that I can continue to build my network. As we know, there's been a lot of consultants who have, quit or moved on or what have you over the last several years. But unfortunately, a lot in the last couple of years. And so, what does that mean? That means displaced customers. So, we're going to talk about how we can try and find those customers a home, and some of the things that I'm focusing on this season, and if some things are working for you guys, I would love for you to share as well. So in typical sunflower fashion, we're going to do a little housekeeping first, and then we'll get to the nitty gritty. You guys feel free to utilize the chat, and then if you have any questions or whatever, feel free to unmute yourself and ask. um our March get together was super fun. We went to With Love Always out here in the Northwest, and we enjoyed dinner together, and it was so freaking good. And Miss Fitzy brought her Care Bears items because she got them before anybody else. So that was super kind of her to bring. And then, like 2 days later, I think the buddy sold out. So it was a really awesome surprise. I had not smelled it or anything yet. And I actually have mine sitting right here. But she's super fun and cute, and I'm hoping this means that there will be more of those products coming down the pipeline because I, for one, am super in love with this. I did get the warmers, however, I don't know that I'm going to be putting them up anywhere. I'm just kind of saving them for a rainy day in case customers want them, or I do have a party booked this month. Whoop, whoop. And so I'm going to bring them to showcase. Our get together on our local get together is not in March. It's in April. I had several of you text me pointing out my mistake. Thank you for that. But that just goes to show you that sure, I can multitask. Sometimes it's not well, but I'm doing my best. So our April date will be April 23rd. As of right now, get togethers and Zooms are still going to be scheduled for Thursdays just because that's what fits my schedule right now. I'm very well aware that everybody is very busy. That doesn't always fit everybody's schedules, especially with sports and otherwise. But if you guys have suggestions for our April 23rd get together, please do share. I know that I think it was you, Fitzy, who we were talking about possibly doing another paint night. I think you said that was something that you were interested in doing again. Me, myself too. I have been trying to coordinate with my paint lady for as long as I can remember. She's been trying to get me to book something since I'm not even going to embarrassingly share how long she's been trying to get me to book because our schedules just do not match up. And I did ask her about that evening, and unfortunately, she is booked. So we will have to try her for another time. But I am in conversations with her, and if you guys are interested in doing that, I think that would be super fun again. Do a cute little potluck, have some drinks, whatever, paint, laugh, all the things. Well, hello, Michelle. I saw your face pop on there for a minute. um, let's see what else. The March Active Challenge that I had sent the email about last month. I wanted to update you guys on that because I have not had a chance to do that on the team page yet. Unfortunately, the challenge was not met. We did not hit 60 active consultants, but that's okay. You guys came super close. There was 50. So there will not be any giveaways or drawings as I had done last month. I did hear from one of the people who won it, and they received their goodies in the mail and they were super appreciative because they didn't have any of the things that I sent them. So, and I'm not going to reveal what it is because you may win April's. Um, excuse me. So I am going to be throwing out an April challenge at some point. Bear with me. It'll go out via email and then I will also post it on the team page at some point as well. I'm hoping before the end of this weekend I will get that out. Um, if you guys have any questions about any of that, let me know. On my list here, it says SFR might be sold out. It's indeed sold out. Clearly, I made these notes quite some time ago, earlier today. But we did get confirmation from home office. And Ingrid, I truly appreciate you sharing that post. I don't know what group you got that from, but that was a very nicely worded post. And it could not be more true. I know Scentsy was fighting with capacity. Home office is everybody wants to go to home office and it's global. And life is expensive right now. Flights are expensive, hotels are expensive, all the things, right? And I know that, not having a payment plan this year really threw a lot of people for a loop. And it's unfortunate that they couldn't work around that. But don't forget about virtual, especially if you were not able to register for in person. You guys register for virtual and then plan a get together with some of you here locally if you want, or do like a watch party, or like a little sip and sniff, or whatever you want to do. But I encourage you to still register for virtual because you're still going to get all of the information. I know it's not going to be the same, um, but virtual is still available. I believe virtual with Kit is still available. That is still 350, I believe. And then there is virtual streaming only, and I do believe that's 52. So if you guys have any questions about that, just let me know. But I did want to give that update. Spark sessions. Has anybody been on a recent Spark session? Ingrid, I see your hand up.
Oh, I just wanted to say this is unofficial, but I know that Fitzy is grabbing everybody who may want to do virtual, and she is planning on having a virtual party. You might correct me if I'm wrong, Fitzy.
I'm working on it. I need a venue.
Excellent. That sounds like so much fun. I love that. You guys will have to keep me posted. And then I can whenever you figure it out, and you want me to throw it up on the team page or create an event or something, just let me know and I can do that, okay? I sure am gonna miss you guys in person, but I completely understand. And now I'm equally excited to hear where they're gonna do it next year. Although, just in my own personal feelings, I have a feeling they're gonna do it in Boise again. I really do, especially because it's probably going to save a lot of costs. Um, but do I think they're gonna do it global again? I don't know. Every 5 years, it's supposed to be a global SFR. It's trends with, and this is not to say that this is always the standard, but it trends with the family incentive that they do every year. So every 5 years it's supposed to be global, and then every 5 years it's supposed to be a family incentive that is also global. Um, so back to Spark Sessions. Has anybody signed up or been on? I guess we don't really need to sign up anymore for those. Has anybody been on a recent Spark session? No, me neither. However, I have watched several of the replays and I'm super duper excited that we have the replays now because I'm almost positive there were no recording replays before. Loving, loving, loving the replays. And I shared the April calendar in the team page. I will actually, now that I say that out loud, I need to pin that to the top. There was one last night with Dan that I completely missed. Um, so they have some surprise guests coming on. Mostly right now, it's being led by superstar directors, and then they're also reaching down to star directors and directors to lead some of those. And some of the replays that I have watched have been absolute fire. I'm loving them. And I don't remember what day it is, but yours truly is actually hosting a Spark session this month. And I want to throw up in my mouth. However, you guys are getting the goods this month because this is some of the stuff that I'm talking about on the Spark session. But definitely be hopping onto the Spark sessions, watch the replays. I did hear that the Scentsy Solo one, or the what is that thing called? The Smart Diffuser, Scentsy Solo fragrance cartridge smart diffuser, the thing with 100,000 names. I heard that one was really good. And there's been some other ones on Club and stuff like that that have been really, really good. So I'm definitely encouraging you guys. We have not heard if they are moving forward in a different direction with those, but I am almost positive that those will continue to be consultant led, which I love. I love, 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 because I learn the best from other consultants. I don't know about you guys. Oh, excuse me. Ingrid, as always, thank you so much for keeping us informed on the chat. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into booking parties and all the things. So I'm just going to jump right in. My focus this year, for me personally, is growing my network. I'm always focusing on my PRV first and foremost because that's about the only thing that I can control. But I really, really want to expand my network this year. I have not been partying very much in the last couple years, and that's not by choice. That's just because my life is insane. My schedule doesn't allow for that a lot. Sometimes I can't even send out 5 text messages a day, and that is no elaboration. Like that is just sometimes I'm just at capacity between work and the kids and school and all the life things happening. And I understand that probably 80% of us right now are in the same boat. So I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about this and see if I'm pretty sure that a couple of you have been having parties. You might have even already had a party this spring, which I would love to hear whatever tips you guys are using. But this is where I'm starting. So I'm going to be perfectly honest. The party that I have this month, it is a home party. So I'm freaking stoked for that because you guys know that's where I excel. I love to people. I love to be in front of people for the most part. I love to be in front of people talking about Scentsy. Let's be clear about that. But I'm very excited. I was approached by her. She is a newer customer to me. She is very familiar with Scentsy and has been buying Scentsy for quite some time. But she is a newer customer to me, and so I'm really, really excited because that means a whole new network of people for me. And she's making it margarita themed, so I'm like, hell yeah. I'm real excited for that. So some of the things that I have been coming up with and kind of thinking, because I don't have any more parties booked yet. However, my goal from here on out is to book a minimum of 2 parties every single month. I haven't really decided what kind of parties. I would prefer home parties just because that's what I prefer to do. However, that's not always conducive to my schedule, and that is definitely not happening in the month of May for me because I have all the things happening in May. But I did want to share some of the things that I plan on doing in order to book the party. So has everybody seen some of those images that say like, it's got the new warmer images and it says, which warmer would you choose for free or half price? Have you guys seen those? Okay. If you haven't, let me know so I can share the ones that I have kind of accumulated in my camera roll on the team page. I would love to share those for you guys. And then so you can use those just to kind of get an idea of one, which warmers people are interested in. Two, which warmers people would love to get at a discount. And 3, it gives you an opportunity and a touch point to reach out to them and say, hey, Lisa, thank you so much for, okay, Stacy, I'll share it on the team page, okay? Hey, and I can share whatever lingo I've shared before also. This is just kind of off the cuff right now. Hey Lisa, thank you so much for commenting. I really love the Gossamer, whatever warmer it is. Let's just say Dusky Petals. That's easy. I'm so glad that you love the Dusky Petal warmers. That's one of my favorites for the new catalog. Um, I have a really awesome host special when you gather 3 to 5 friends or collect 3 to 5 orders, and then you can get it for half price or something along those lines. I'm happy to share scripts with you guys later if you need some verbiage. But that just kind of gives you an idea of what you would say if you reach out to somebody. That's typically what I would say when doing that. Another thing that I used a couple years ago when I had bookings from bookings from bookings from bookings, which was so freaking exciting, and that's always my goal, is a super easy gift bag. If you are in my VIP group, I'm sure you have seen me post something like this. This is literally just an empty bag. That's it. But what does it do? It gets people's attention because it looks like a gift, right? So there is nothing in this. However, when I post this in my VIP page, I'm going to post a picture of 2 or 3 of them. Sometimes I number them, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do different bags. It just kind of depends on how spicy I feel. Um, but I'll post different things and then I'll say, choose bag 1, 2, or 3. And so they choose bag 1, 2, or 3, right? And then I message them and say, hey, like I have a super huge goal this month. I'm really looking for somebody who can help me meet that. Would you be interested in hosting a sip and sniff? Or would you want to borrow a bag of my testers and collect 3 to 5 orders? And when you do that, you'll get whatever's in this bag for free. Okay. And so it can be anything. It can be a scent circle. It can be a $10 coupon. It can be a perpetual party reward, a 50% off item. It can literally be whatever. Um, Sometimes I'll put stuff in here, like if I have stuff in my office, which I have lots of stuffs in my office. Usually I can just throw like a room spray or something small in here, and then they get actual physical prizes. It just kind of depends on how I'm feeling that day. But gifts like this will get people's attention. There's also a really fun game. It's called the Dice Game. Have I shared that with you guys before? I want to say I have, but it's probably been a while. And literally, you don't even have to have dice. You can just tell somebody, hey, pick a number between 1 and 6. Okay. And then so you have this pretend board with 6 boxes. And in that pretend board, you can put whatever it is that you want to put into those boxes, a free 3-pack of wax, a free counter clean, a washer whiff tub 50% off, a mini warmer for $5, a 6-pack of wax for free, um, a Scentsy Blankie Buddy or a fragrance flower for $5 or whatever. And then you can say, you can in your VIP group or on Facebook or whatever, you could tell people, hey, let's play a fun game. Pick a number 1 through 6. And then let's say they pick number 2. And number 2 is a free 3-pack of wax. You private message them and you say, private message, text, whatever, and say, hey, thanks for playing my game. Super excited. And you may or may not use the word party. I say party. I just kind of like I decide if I want to say the word party or not based on who I'm talking to. If I have an established relationship with this person, I'll probably say party. Maybe if I don't want to scare them away, I don't say party, but either way, let's just say party for now. Hey, Lisa, you picked number 2. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for playing my game. Guess what? Because you chose number 2, when you collect anywhere between like 5 and 8 orders for me, and you let's see, hold on. Let me start over. Obviously, this is off my brain right now and not off of a piece of paper. You picked number 2, so when you can collect anywhere between 5 and 8 orders for me, share some samples with your friends. You're gonna get a 6-pack of wax for free when you do that. And that's literally all you have to do is just pick whatever 1 through 6 is. It doesn't have to be complicated. You may or may not have seen people do like around Easter. I totally missed the boat on this. I had every intention of doing it. People were holding up Easter eggs, like the Easter eggs that kids Easter egg hunt with, and say, I have 3 Easter eggs. Pick which color, and I'll send you a special message. And some of them had coupons like $5 off an order. Some of them had coupons like free shipping, and some of them had book a party with me. I would have to find the language in which they were using for the party. But there was a couple people who said they got a couple parties from that. So it's just all about being creative, and you know your customers best. So if you're really trying to get those parties, then choose any of any of the examples that I've given where you think it's going to gain the most interest, and every week maybe try something different and try and get those parties booked. Also, something that I wanted to talk about is so let's say Lisa says, yeah, I would love to have a party. I have a really big wish list and I want a couple of those warmers that you have posted for free or half price, right? So, okay, great. So let's just say Lisa's going to do a bag party. So you can tell Lisa, this is what I would tell Lisa. This is where we're talking about like host coaching and stuff. Okay, Lisa, guess what? You only have to collect a minimum of 5 orders. And then that should unlock your host rewards, which typically I will say, and this hasn't always happened, but the majority of the time, and I've talked about this before, is I started focusing on giving my hosts the amount of orders to collect instead of the dollar amount of orders to collect. So instead of telling them, okay, you have to collect at least $250 in orders, sometimes that's a brain block for people. Sometimes they're like, oh, $250 in orders, that's a lot. I don't think I can do that. I don't know enough people. Insert all the excuses here, right? But when you say, hey, when you have at least 5 friends order, that will more than likely put you at a qualifying party, which will qualify you for a minimum of $25 in free product and at least 1 item half off. Excuse me. Plus, you've just unlocked my exclusive booking special, whatever that was at the time it was communicated with Lisa. Oh, excuse me for a moment. Un momento. But when I'm doing these booking specials, I am making sure to tell that host they only receive the exclusive booking item when they have excuse me, I have a terrible tickle. When they have had a qualifying party. They do not get it beforehand. They have to put in the work before I'm giving them anything. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about that? Excuse me, if you do, let me know. But those are some of the things that I have previously done in parties, and I have previously done to book parties. So if you guys have other ideas that you have been using, please, please, please share. Because my way is not the only way. There's 100,000 different ways to book parties out on social media. I'm going to share this with you guys really quick. Excuse me, I need to figure out where my screen share is. Oh, share. Share. Okay, you guys can see this? Yes? Okay. All right, so these are my host exclusives that I am doing for this season, and I actually reformatted them a little bit, and not to worry, I will share this template so you guys can customize it to your own. But I reformatted this into a rack card this year because all of the information would not fit on the little piece, like the little one that I had done before. And I wanted to incorporate this in there somehow. Now, let me be clear. the Scentsy Solo cartridge diffuser, whatever it is not eligible for host rewards. And we earn 20 less PRV for it than what it's priced at. So it's $80. We only earned 60 PRV. So I really had to think hard at how I wanted to offer this without basically giving it away and coming out of pocket significantly, which is not the point, right? However, this is what I have decided to do because I wanted to incorporate it because it's new, it's exciting, it's different. We've never had anything like this before. So up here it says host a party of any kind March 1st through December because it's an annual catalog and receive one of these 5 exclusive host specials for only $5 with a party of $500 or more. That is not this. This is not part of that. This is an extra host bonus, which I might actually put like a little line down here just so that people know that the 5 consists of these things right here. And most of these things I've offered before. So if this looks familiar to you, that's probably why. A 3-pack of fragrance flowers because most everybody loves the fragrance flowers and they make freaking awesome gifts. The Hamish weighted and warming Scentsy Buddy because for the first time in forever, he's not sold out after day 1, and he plans on being in the whole damn year of the catalog. So we'll see how that works out. Any warmer of your choice up to $60. And then I have a little blurb right here that says pay the difference for something greater than $60. So if it's $75, they would pay $15 instead of $5, so on and so forth. The Scentsy Air Quad, because this is a pod product. And what is something that Scentsy has that nobody else has? Pods. So I wanted to continue to utilize this. So what it is they have to have a qualifying party of what is the threshold now for 2 half price? Is it 400? I think it's 250, 400, 600, 1,000. Quite possibly. If anybody wants to look that up and correct me, that would be wonderful. But if not, it's the second party rewards level. Because they have to use because of how much it is, it's $115. It requires 2 half price items. So they would typically get it for $57.50 at half price. But in my exclusive offer, they're getting it for $40 and I'm covering the rest out of my own pocket. And I'll talk about how to use these rewards in a second. So this is one of mine, and then I always have a 6-pack of my favorite catalog waxes. Okay, any questions on that so far? No? Okay. So for all of these things, for those of you who may or may not know, when you have a qualifying party, a minimum of 250 or more in sales, you automatically unlock a perpetual party reward, which is under the host cart in our workstation. And essentially, it's a free half price item that we get to use. It's given to us as consultants as a party perk so that we can potentially book more parties, spoil our hosts, incentivize our hosts, whatever the case may be. And so that's what I use to get these items. So I'll use the 50% off. So for example, because this is easy math, Hamish, however you say it, is $60, right? So 50% off, he would be $30. And then when somebody has a party of $500 or more, he would be $5 for that person, and I would be paying $25 out of pocket. So that does seem significant. However, and I'm going to tell you, only offer things that you can afford. If you can't afford to pay $25 out of pocket for something, pick a 3-pack of scent circles. Pick the 6-pack of waxes. Pick a room spray. Pick a counter clean. Things that are less or a pack of cotton cleanups or something like that. Pick things that are less money out of pocket. This is just what I choose to do. I can afford to do this, but I understand that not everybody can do this. So please don't feel like, oh, that's really expensive. I don't want to do that. You don't have to do that. Pick things that are within your budget. Um, but the way that I look at it is this. If somebody is going to work hard enough to get me a $500 party, I'm going to spoil the crap out of them. So these are my host exclusives for the season. And then the way that I did the Scentsy Solo cartridge diffuser is because I can't get this 50% off. We all have to pay retail for this no matter what. And it's only sold as a bundle. So right off the bat, we're only earning 60 PRV for this. So I was trying to figure out how can I get this at a reduced price? Well, you can't. But you can get the cartridges with host rewards. So this is what I decided. When my host purchases the new Scentsy Solo Diffuser bundle for $80 towards their party, because their purchases go towards their party rewards, and their party yields a minimum of 600, because that's also going to give them better host rewards, 3 items half price, and then they're also going to unlock any of these things up here. And this is just from me, this is not from Scentsy. They are going to get a free solo cartridge, which is a $40 value because the cartridges are $40 by themselves, for free. And I'm just going to use the perpetual party reward, or I'm going to finagle away from a different party to get one for free, or maybe it's one I already have. I haven't quite figured that out. It's just going to depend on if my host decides to utilize this reward, but that's how I figured out that I can do it. So I can't offer the actual system at a discount, but if they decide to purchase the system, then I will be giving them a free solo cartridge if and only if their party threshold reaches $600 or more. And then as you can see down here, I say a $250 party, they get $5 off any solo cartridge, and a $400 party, $10 off. Any questions? No? Okay, I will be happy to share this template before the end of the weekend, just so that you guys can customize it, do whatever you want. This is just a QR code that goes directly to my website so that they can see the fragrance offerings, the scent pack offerings, the pod offerings, etc., etc. Which one was?
Are you
Oh,
still
okay.
offering the whatchamacallit, the host zipper bags?
So I think I'm going to continue doing that this year. I just haven't put any together. My little pouch parties that I was doing. Yeah, I'm still planning on doing that. Especially for um especially for my out of state people, because those people I mail those to, and I still have a plethora of and which I don't have one to show you guys because they don't have any made yet, but I still have, a plethora of the fragrance testers that I need to get in people's hands. But I do plan on doing that this season as well.
So, to piggyback on that, maybe,
Mhm.
and I mean, this is if anybody wants, could we maybe do a get together and everybody prepares those bags together? That
Mhm.
way, we all have them before we start doing parties and all that.
Sure. We could definitely do that. If you guys want to try and do that for our meetup this month, we can do that as well. We can have people, I can put a list of the supplies that everybody would need to bring, and then we are just all responsible for all the things that we bring, and then we just assemble the bags together. How does that sound? We can just pick like a restaurant or something that we can do that together. So okay, that means Andrea needs to get her crap together and try and remember what was in my pouches. So Ingrid, I'm gonna ask that you um get in my inbox and remind me about that so that I can start preparations for that. Okay. That's a great idea. Thank you. Because I know how much for those of you who were able to come to our the retreat, the feedback that we got about the fragrance flower sample making party was super. And so I know that those kind of things are helpful. Um, any questions about any of those things before I move on? No. Okay. I'm only on page 1 of my notes. I was gonna say a whole bunch of things at the beginning and I just got distracted. I talked about parties. Booking parties is future income. Um, does everybody that's on here, I am almost positive I know the answer. Everybody that's on here is using Scentsy Connect or has Scentsy Connect? Yeah, okay. I have not utilized it for the team portion yet. I did see that they added team features. I just don't know what that entails yet because I already kind of have my systems in place for how I communicate to you guys. But I guess there's team stuff on there now. So if you guys have figured that out, let me know. But basically the purpose for booking parties and really just getting people to host is in hopes that they will introduce you to their friends and then you can grow your network that way. So to piggyback off of that, something I was talking about earlier was and I haven't updated it for this season yet, but when I'm doing parties, I have, and Ingrid, I know I talked about this last year, but I actually got this idea from Renee, from what is her business? I can't remember. Anyways, the
Park
jewelry.
Lane.
Park Lane, yes. So I got this idea from her, is that, and I kind of talked about this earlier, was having telling the host that they need a minimum of 5 orders or a minimum of 10 orders so that they can meet their party thresholds. And the reason for that being is the average order, if you think about it, is anywhere between like $30 and $60. So if you have 5 people that are ordering that, you are more than likely going to meet your host threshold, right? And so what I have been doing over the last couple years, and I me personally, I plan to continue to stack these host incentives, collect 5 orders and get whatever, collect 10 orders and get whatever, book a party that's 500 or more and earn the host exclusive and the $600 or more and earn that. Does that seem like a lot? Absolutely. Do you have to do any of those things? Absolutely not. You do what is comfortable for you. But if people are going to be introducing me to their friends, that's how I'm going to reward them. So what I was doing last year, for those of you who maybe weren't with us or didn't see any of those calls, was I incentivized my hosts to um, collect a minimum of, I was raising my own hand. Collect a minimum of 5 orders, and then I would give the host a free 3-pack of waxes. And I was not ordering those. They was coming directly from my inventory. I would just say a free 3-pack of waxes from whatever I have on hand. And I have my own club, so that would come from either my club or whatever I have accumulated with host rewards. And then if they collected a minimum of 10 orders, I would give them either a free mini warmer that I would get with a perpetual or with a half price item, or I would give them a free wall fan using the same thing because that's like anywhere between $25 and $30. Most of the time it's coming from my inventory and I'm not even having to use that half price item. And usually if I knew I had something in my inventory, I would say, you can choose from these 5 warmers, or you can choose from these 5 wall fans, or whatever. And the thing that I learned from doing that is it made my hosts work harder, especially if I was host coaching them and I was saying, hey, Lisa, you are literally only 3 orders away from earning a free 3-pack of wax. Do you know anybody else who needs a restock? Do you know anybody else who loves fragrance, who maybe loves candles or would love like a reed diffuser or something like that? And then that would give me an opportunity to kind of push them to try and collect some more orders. And I will tell you, I think I only had one person who said, I'm not interested. Everybody else continued to work. And the majority of the time, if they were previous hosts, it was probably like their husband or their sister, and I would let that slide because an order is an order is an order. But I would prefer it, and most of the time it was brand new people that were placing these orders. So that really helped me expand my customer base. Um, so some of the other ways that you can focus on booking parties, and you know what? Parties may not be your thing, and that's fine. I know that it's not everybody's thing, just like sponsoring is not everybody's thing. But if you're really looking to get outside of your network this year, parties is going to be the way that you can do that, which is why we're just talking about parties. So you can reach out to past hosts. I have a host tracker that I keep. I try to keep. I try and be really diligent about that, but I'm not always great about that. Um, that I can go off of, and I will track like how much their party sales were, what host exclusives did they get, did they earn anything, anything like that. So I'll reach out to those people and say, hey, Lisa, you had a $600 party last season and it was super good. Have you seen the new catalog? Have you seen the Care Bears collection? Do you want to try and earn some of that stuff for free or half price? That gives you a good touch point. So I do keep a previous host list so that I can always fall back on that when I'm looking to book some parties. You can reach out to your top customers. Like I had talked about earlier, you can share photos of the booking bags if that's something that interests you. Create excitement with the host exclusives. You can say, hey, I've revamped my host exclusive for the season. Do you want to see what it is? And most people are not going to say no. They may say no to the party, but maybe something has been on their wish list that they're really, really wanting, and maybe they can't afford a $60 warmer right now, but maybe they can get it for $5. So sometimes those things will draw people in and say, yeah, I know enough people. I have a break room at work. I can hand out some samples or get some fragrance under people's noses and see what I can come up with. Da 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 da. Has anybody seen any of the mock parties this season? Have you guys seen those? Jen, what is Emily's called? Is it Mock Party 2026? I can't recall. I know there's quite a few. I know Whitney Hebel has updated her mock party. Um, I think those are the two that I follow the most is Whitney Hebel and Emily is it Van Cleveland or Cleveland?
It's Scentsy Annual Mock Party 2026.
Okay. So there are consultants out there. Literally, you guys, if you just go to Facebook and you search mock party, most of the time you want to put the year in because there's so many that have been done over the years. But Emily shares boards in there. Emily is freaking amazing. Like she shares everything. She shares scripts. She's gone live. She's done trainings. She is very, very, very generous with her time and effort. She shares a lot of things. So if you're like, I don't even know what to do, and to be honest with you guys, I don't even know that I'm going to do online parties this year. If I absolutely have to, Ingrid, thank you. Ingrid dropped some of the links in the chat. I don't love doing Facebook parties, especially because Facebook has become quite the nuisance over the last couple of years. But I will tell you, in previous years, it has helped me expand my network, especially if those people live out of state. So don't entirely count them out, okay? You can also send a pouch party like Ingrid had talked about earlier. And you don't have to do an online party. You can literally just send your host books, samples, scratch-ins of stickers, whatever, and have them text you the orders. There are text parties out there. There are bingo parties that you could do. Like you could do a live party. I know people have been talking recently about block parties. Um, one of the superstar directors that I know, she has literally done a Zoom party. She has told her customers, she sent her a whole bag of testers, all the things, catalogs. Her host had people show up at her house, host the party as if she was there, and her as the consultant hosted it over Zoom. So they got together at her host's house in a completely different state, and the consultant did everything over Zoom just as if she was there in person. How freaking genius is that? Because she's still getting her friends together. She's still having a girls' night or a sip and sniff or whatever. So just what I'm saying is like think outside the box. Think outside the box with those kind of things. So those are the kind of things that I plan on utilizing to my advantage this year. I'm going to be asking anybody and everybody who will listen if they will host for me, especially people who have never hosted before. Just going over my notes. Does anybody have anything they want to share that's been working for them or that has worked for them in the last 6 months to a year?
So I haven't done an online party since last year, but I did have two people that repeated, kind of. They didn't want a party, so I just gave them the shopping link and I gave them 2 weeks. And I told them, remember, if you get people, to do how many other orders, you're going to get this. And that has helped me at least get to a certain amount of PRB, both for February and March.
I love that. And just like Ingrid said, utilize the shopping links. Those work for some people. Those don't work for my people. They shop their own links, which is fantastic, but for whatever reason, there's like that mental block of it's just a link. But that's not to say that's for everybody. So definitely utilize those shopping links. And oh, I heard something so freaking genius. Um, I don't remember where it was or who it was by, but I'm going to share this with you guys. I don't remember if it was a Spark session or what. So, does everybody know that our customers can go onto our website and create their own shopping links now? Did you guys know that?
Yes.
So yes, okay. So from your PWS, and somebody maybe look because I can't look right now. I believe if you go down to host a party, you can create a link so your customers can go on and create their own links anytime. But here's the beauty of it, you guys. So you know how we've been asking for more transparency for our hosts to be able to see where they're at with their parties? So when they go on and they create these rewards links, not only does that save you a step, which I mean it takes 2 minutes, so it's not that big of a deal. But when they create their own rewards link, they get notifications on how their party is doing. They can see the little circle that says how much they've earned, how much they have to go, and so on and so forth. I don't believe it shares who has ordered, but it does give them some sort of idea of where their link, party, whatever is at. Now, what I will tell you is this only this is only good for PWS orders. It will not show, like, if you have local orders that you're entering, it won't show those as updating in the party like when we can see when we're in the workstation. It will only track the PWS orders. So if that's the only way that you do your business, not that big of a deal. But because I have a lot of local customers, that's not going to work for me. I did, however, just talk to IT about that. I said, I think that's super great. And that we're going in the right direction. However, make it user friendly for both ways. And so they're going to start looking into that to see how they can do that. Because if we can offer more transparency to our hosts so that they're not like dead in the water waiting to see, have I had any order? Because you know, when you're hosting a party and people are like, has anybody ordered? Has anybody ordered? When they can see that, what a difference is that going to make for them? Right? Now, I also don't know if, which now that I'm thinking about this, I need to do this so I can see. I'm wondering if, because on the PWS now, it says something about starting a subscription, and also you could have earned so much commission on this order, I believe. I'm wondering if it says that for the party rewards links as well. Like if you became a consultant, you would earn this much on this party. So if anybody happens to see that, let me know. Because if not, I'm putting that in the suggestion box tomorrow. But I thought I would share that.
For people that are not consultants.
Say what?
I might have misunderstood you. Are you talking about people that are not consultants seeing that?
Yes. So the party hosts. So like if you're trying to build your team and maybe you're trying to recruit a host because they're a really awesome host and they've had like a $500 party, I'm wondering if they can see how much they would potentially make off of that party. Because right now on the PWS, from my understanding, is when they're placing an order, it says something along the lines of, do you want to start a subscription for this product if it's a club eligible item? And you could have earned such and such dollar amount on this order.
I haven't seen it for a party, although I've only closed one party and I wasn't paying attention, but I have seen it for a customer placing an order where they received an email saying, thank you so much for your order. We appreciate your business. By the way, if you're interested, you could have made this much money on this order. I have seen that.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm actually gonna, Ingrid, I'm putting more responsibility on your shoulders, please. Can you please remind me that I need to message Gary in IT and put that in the suggestion box for the party rewards as well? Because I feel like that would be a game changer. If now this is only going to work if and only if your hosts are going to your PWS and creating their own rewards link. Okay? Because that makes it eligible for them. And at first I was like, you know what? I really don't love that because that's just putting extra work on them. However, if you explain to them, you'll be able to see how your party is doing without having to ask me. As long as it's PWS orders, then I feel like that's a game changer. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction with that. But I heard that and I was like, that is genius to have your hosts go in and create their own host reward link so they can see the progress of the party. So, I totally got off topic with that. I don't even know. I don't even know that any of this is relevant anymore. A script idea. Hey girl, I'm booking a few fun scent socials this month, super easy, and I bring the goodies. Or like I tell people, I bring the guac and chips. You want one of my April spots? Another thing that piggybacks kind of off of what Ingrid was saying about the shopping links and people not necessarily wanting to host again, like if they've been a previous host, instead of asking them if they want to host again. And I learned this from my friend Amber Turner. Every time she closes a party, she says, okay, I'm going to put you on my books for March, which is 6 months from now. Obviously, this is not applicable now, but we should have a new catalog by then, and then your friends will be ready to restock and want to see what the new stuff is. And then the host, more times than not, has said, okay, that sounds great. And then you set a reminder in your phone to follow up with that person in March and say, hey, it's March. We talked about it. Are you ready to book another scent event, a sip and sniff, a bag party, whatever? So you're technically not asking them. You're just already rebooking them without asking them. And I thought that was absolutely genius. What else? What else? Offer your notes. Okay. Okay. Does anybody have Jen? I'm gonna put you on the spot for a minute. I know that you've done a couple parties in the last 6 months. Um, how did you get those parties? How did they do, and how did you do them?
Okay. Facebook. All mine are online. And the one I did, we'll say last month, she was a host that agreed to do one from a fall party, but she wanted to wait until spring. So she was already in the books from the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And then off of her party, I got 2 more from her party. Yes, but however, one of them is one of my customers. Like, she loves to party it up. So she's actually coming up this weekend.
Okay. So I have follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bookings from that booking, what did you say? Or okay, so one of them was probably like, "Hey, I'm ready to have another party," right? More than likely, because you said she's your party.
On there. So it's actually one of those posts and it's in one of the mock groups, and it's so funny that it actually works. I didn't think it would. And it's like, oh, pick a number, or like whatever it is, like pick 1 through 3, right? And then I will tell you, I will message you, what it is. And it's all about booking. All 3 answers involve booking. But what it is if you book with me, and you have a qualified party, it's kind of like what you do. You'll win a mini warmer. You'll receive a mini warmer, or you'll receive a 3-pack of fragrance flowers. It's whatever I choose based on the 1 through 3. Would you like to book? If not, it's okay. I can send you, a scent circle or whatever. Like, there's an alternative to it. They don't go away empty-handed. So, so the one, she's like, yep, I'm ready to book. And like I said, she's been a previous host. So she's all about it, because she likes to stop. She likes to get her Scentsy for free and half off. So to her, it's not she's like, this is easy. So, and then the other one is also, she's a customer of mine. And she's like, yep, I want free and half off. She's a clubber of mine, actually. And so she's going to host sometime this month as well. I have had, so those are 2 current customers who are actually hosting with me this month. Prior to that, though, in the fall, I have had new hosts, but it's the same thing. Like, I'll put that post on there, there's no limit. Pick a number 1 through 3. It's just because I put in multiple games. So it could be the decor games. It's just about trying to get a lot of, because of the Facebook algorithms, it's about just constantly posting interactive posts. And then the host coaching, constantly telling my host, we have to treat this like we're in an in-home party, because most of my hosts are out of state. They're not local. Majority of my customers are out of state. They're not local. Which is a weird fact, but it's true. I'd say 60% of my customer base is out of state based on parties. And so I just remind them, like, hey, they know you, they don't know me, especially the newer ones that they bring into the parties. I need you to tag them in things that you think they'll like. And I tag them in each post I post. So I don't just post the product or whatever it is that I'm discussing that day without tagging my host in each post, so they know it's been posted, so they don't miss anything. So then they can go and see. So like Kelsey is actually the girl's name that's doing the party with me coming up, right? So every post that I make throughout the week, I tag Kelsey in every single thing. Every warmer post I make, every wax post I make, she's tagged in every one of them. So she knows I've just posted something in that Facebook group, which helps that algorithm. So then she can go in and she realizes, oh my gosh, and she's a commenter. She comments on everything. She'll talk, she's an amazing host. Then when I post the games, the same thing. She'll make sure she knows that she's not gonna like win off the game, but she'll get people to interact in the games. And because she knows that the more interaction she can get people to do, the better off it'll be for her and to get people to purchase and buy. So I think that helps with the algorithm. Instead of just posting and not tagging, I make sure I tag the host in every one of my posts. So
I like that. I do the same thing too. Because at some point there has to be some sort of interaction that's going to trigger somebody to go in and comment on something. And most of the time it has to start with the host.
Yeah. So I just tell them, I was like, you have to realize, like, some of them know me, especially if they're repeat hosts, but not all of them do. They know you. They trust you. They'll get to learn to know me. And a lot of times they'll ask them their opinion on something, and they'll be like, oh, Jen's amazing. Let's get her opinion or whatever. But usually I can get one party off of a party. I've never done one in-home party in almost my 6 years. Every party I've ever done has been Facebook or bag, and made my entire client base off that.
Which is freaking amazing, especially because the majority of your customers are out of state.
Majority of mine are.
I mean, that is just proof in the pudding that's why having any kind of party, virtual or otherwise, is a smart idea, because that's how you grow. That's how you definitely will meet people that maybe you might have never met before.
Yeah. So most of my customer base is out of state.
Okay, so that also goes to show you the pick the number game works. And you guys can figure out whatever kind of lingo you want. I mean, there are so many different things. Like I said, you could, have like 5 eggs, and 2 of them could be coupons and 3 of them could be to book a party, or have a sip and sniff, or will you collect my bag of scents and share it with 5 friends, or whatever the case may be, and just kind of utilize what you think is going to work with your customers. So thank you for letting me put you on the spot. That's helpful.
Hold on.
Ingrid, did you have something? I'm not going anywhere.
I want to ask her something.
Okay.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but
it's okay.
So you and I are kind of similar, because I'm in the same boat. Most of my clients are from everywhere but here. How long do you leave the party opens? Like, for example, let's say that you finish a party this week on Facebook. How long do you leave that party like there, or do you delete it immediately?
Oh, I leave them.
Okay, because something that I'm doing, and this goes with what she mentioned earlier about the scheduling a 6-month follow-up for a person that may want to restock or something. I do that, but instead of checking with the host, I post for everybody on the party page, and then I will get new clients by doing that. I don't know if you did that too.
No, I just once we've closed out the party, and I thank everybody, and then I give the winner or whatever. When they're ready to, I leave it open, because there's always somebody who like randomly like, is the party still going or whatever, and so then I will reach out to them and find out like what the situation is, or and follow up with them particularly. So that's why I never like delete anything for that reason. But I don't repost in there, and I don't use the same group for a second round. When the host wants to redo a party, I start a whole new group, so she has to re-invite everybody. One time I had a customer want to do that. She's like, let's use the same party, and it was unsuccessful, because they were already there, and these people had no idea what was happening. And I warned her that this was not a good idea, but she really wanted to She's like, well, I've already invited them, you know, but it'd been 6 months. It was one of those situations where she did spring and she did fall. And I do not recommend that. So always create a new group. But I leave them. I don't delete them. I have my group's page is ginormous. So I don't delete them though. I don't archive them. Is that what you mean? Like archive them? Yeah. No, I leave them there because people pop in randomly, you know, when they finally see it, because not everybody sees the notification that they've been invited to something until it's way late. And then I will comment then. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry you missed it. You know, is there anything I can help you with? Were you here to just support the host? Do you use Sensi? You know, and then I'll private message them and reach out to them and try to snag another customer that way.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I do pretty much the same thing as Jen. I don't think I've ever I don't even think I archive groups. I think I just leave them there. And I will tell you, some of the times I have gone back. I don't always do this, and I know a lot of consultants do this, but this is just more of like a time constraint for me. I will go back into those parties, especially if there's like a flash sale or some sort of where I don't, outside of sending an email to people, and I've gotten extra orders from that as well. So I don't always do that, but sometimes I will go back in and post, like, if there's, a really huge launch that's coming or a big sale, or maybe I just happen to have 5 extra minutes in a day and I'll go in and post in some of the older parties. I'll do that as well. So there was something else that you said too, Jen, that I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was, so I guess it's not important, um, but I'm loving these ideas. I know, dang it. I know there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was. Anyways, clearly it's not important. So, okay, well, we have been on for just a little bit over an hour, and so I did just want to be respectful of your guys' time. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys have learned some tips and tricks for your parties. What was I going to say? I don't know. I don't remember. I'm going to leave you guys with an action item. Okay? And I'm going to be working on it too. By our May Zoom meeting, book one party. Okay? Book one party. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like, it doesn't have to be held in April. Book a party for, let's say, for April or May, and I'll be doing a drawing. And you guys will get something fun from me. I'm going to be doing the same. My goal this month is to book at least 2 more parties. And for the love of all things Pete, I really need to get back to my virtual bingo, because that used to be freaking huge for me. Just mostly for the algorithms. So if I miraculously get time to do those, I will be doing a training on that so I can tell you guys what's working for those. But whatever other tips or tricks you guys have that's working, please always feel free to post in the team page. If you have any questions, if you need templates, anything like that. Ingrid, keep me on my toes, please. I appreciate you. I have lots of action items before the end of the month. And then I wish you guys good luck. Go out and book those parties, meet those people, and expand your networks. Okay, have a great week. Love you guys. Wait, let's take a picture really quick. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a picture really quick. You can't even see my face. Okay. Tease. Perfect. All right, you guys. Love you all. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.